Until now, you've been creating objects from classes that have been pre-built for you by Apple. For example, you use the NSString class to create string objects. Each time you create an object from the class, those are called object instances of the NSString class. You've created object instances like first name or my greeting, and these instances have had values like Susan, or Bob, or John, or in the case of a greeting, hello world. You've also used the NSArray class. You used it earlier to create an airplane passengers object that had the names of people on a fictional airplane. Similar to the NSArray class, you used the NSDictionary class to create a similar airplane passenger object. This time, using the helpful ability of dictionaries to store objects by key, such as seat 14A and seat 14B, keys that you can define yourself instead of just using an integer index like the NSArray. Now we're going to take the next step, and instead of using the pre-built classes like NSString or NSArray or NSDictionary, you're going to create your own custom class. Imagine you're going to create an exciting new combat race car game. For this cool game, you'd need to create combat race car objects. In the following lessons, I'll show you how to do this in Objective-C. To keep things simple, we're not going to worry about the graphic design of the combat race cars. This isn't a graphic design course. Instead, we're going to simulate everything our cars do using text. Starting with our combat race car, there are two general categories of things we need to set up. In our custom class, we'll need to describe some of the properties of our car and some of the things it can do. A couple properties of our car may be things like establishing that our cars should have a color and that they should have a certain top speed. And for things our car can do, we'll say that it can go a certain speed, that it can fire weapons, and that it can stop. Remember, when we start writing our program, the computer has no idea what a combat race car is. Writing our combat race car class is like writing the blueprint to a house. We have to give all the details of what this thing is in the abstract. Once our class is written, however, we can use that class to create real race car objects. And because in our class blueprint we told the computer that the combat race cars can have a color, for each race car object we can create and assign a different color. By going through the following few lessons, you'll understand a lot more about how Objective-C and object-oriented programming in general works.